So North Wilkesboro Speedway hosted a points NASCAR Cup Series race for the first time since 1996 as Joey Logano got the win in the Window World 450 on Sunday in Wilkes County, North Carolina. According to an article on the North Wilkesboro Speedway website that also talked about Logano's win, North Wilkesboro Speedway hadn't hosted a points Cup Series race in 10,888 days. Also, according to that article, Logano hadn't won in 441 days. Before this win, Logano last won at Texas Motor Speedway in May 2025 at the Worth 400, presented by Liquid Molly that day. North Wilkesboro provided a lot of action as cars ran on 3 different lanes around the iconic 5/8 oval. No matter if it was the top, middle, or bottom lane, Logano had all the corners covered in the closing laps. Logano led a career high of laps in any race with 323 laps of North Wilkesboro in his 22 Team Penske Ford. This win ended a 45-race winning streak dating back to that Texas win. Logano won the race by 0.859 seconds ahead of points leader and second-place finisher Denny Hamlin. Even though this is the first points win for Logano at the 0.625-mile short track, he's no stranger to winning in Wilkes County. Logano also won the 2024 NASCAR All-Star race that he revitalized North Wilkesboro. Just like how he dominated this race this year, that race he also dominated by leading 199 of 200 laps that night from the pole position. I talked about that win in my All-Star video from that year, and I'll leave that in the description. He won the race this year in front of a sellout crowd, which was the 38th Cup win of his career, which is 23rd most all time. The win was big for Logano, who hasn't had the best of seasons so far. The win moved the 3-time Cup Series champion from 17th to 15th in the point standings as he was out of the chase when the race began. That position of 15th is 49 points ahead of the cut line for the chase. Here's Logano talking about how does a dominant win at North Wilkesboro sound like to him, with it being the first points race in 30 years, and more, courtesy of TNT.
That sounds great. A win anywhere at this point would have sounded great, but coming here to North Wilkesboro is awesome. I picked up a passenger on the back stretch. We had some fun together, but what a great car. Paul Wolf, what a great car he put together for us today, and just was able to execute a smooth race. Everyone on pit road did a good job. Engine at Roush Yates was good, and I guess it just feels good to get back in victory lane. It's been a tough
Chase
year,
Briscoe
so getting to show up Penzo Mustang, doing some big smoky donuts around his place felt really good.
Logano also talked about how does he explain the magic he has when he gets in the 22 car at this track, as he's led over 300 laps in the All-Star race and this race at North Wilkesboro, and more, also courtesy of TNT.
I just think it's something that clicks for us. You know, Paul put together a good car, and I feel like I know exactly what I need to go fast around this place, and he's able to give it to me. So that's, I knew coming this weekend, so we got to capitalize on the points. A win was great, but we really need the points, and so really capitalize on those tonight.
Here's more from Logano talking about the last 100 laps, the pit stop, racing Denny Hamlin to get off pit road, and how much him and his spotter Coleman Presley live for moments like that in races, and more, also on TNT.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure was there for sure. Denny got really good there the last run, and honestly, it was whoever was out front was going to win the race that last run. You know, we were pretty dominant most of the race, but, as the race went along, Denny got better there at that last run. So just did a decent job keeping up with the track. They did a good job keeping up. But, gosh, it feels good. I say, hey, my wife and all the rest of the kids, they're all at home. I wish you guys were here to celebrate, but Dad's going to be home a little late.
Hamlin was able to get close to Logano in the final stage, but the race winner did a great job getting through lap traffic and never gave Hamlin a chance to close the gap on Logano. The critical point came during a green flag pit stop in the final stage, with Hamlin's 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota peeling off the track to pit road on lap 359 of 450. Logano went to pit road 1 lap later and left the pits about half a second ahead of Hamlin. That pit cycle made the difference, and who would come out the winner of the race. Even though Hamlin gave it his best in chasing down Logano, he still grew his points lead over his 2311 Racing driver Tyler Reddick to 68 points. There are 5 races left to run before the chase begins. Here's Hamlin talking about the battle he had with Logano. It wasn't frustrating for him because he tried everything to get by Logano, and more, also courtesy of TNT. Hamlin did lead 9 laps at North Wilkesboro during the race.
Yeah, you just got to compliment them on a great day and a great drive. They were really good. There was a lot of times where I felt like my car was kind of close where it needed to be and just a smidge off, and so it was a great battle. We at least could keep him honest there, but he had a lot of speed and never really gave up on the short run or long run. So great job by our whole Progressive team to keep us in the ball game. But yeah, we'll have to regroup.
Hamlin also talked about if it was respect to give Logano a dap up there to say, hey, great night, and more. Also courtesy of TNT.
Well, it's wildly impressive. I thought it was a really impressive drive from him, and maneuvered through traffic really well, and did everything that we know Joey to do. So, really feel great about our day, though. Such a big turnaround from what we were here last year, and this Toyota just was one spot short.
Hamlin's Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Chase Briscoe finished third in his 19th Toyota Camry. He led 5 laps on the night. Briscoe went from 30th to 3rd over the course of the race. Here's Briscoe talking about how did he do it with great strategy from his crew chief James Small early on and held out and more, also courtesy of TNT.
Yeah, we had a phenomenal Wilkes Filters Toyota. It was a long race, but it was pretty fun for me just because our car was so good. So, yeah, just thought we were good enough to win. That last run, we kind of lost it, but yeah, our car was exceptional in the long run, so I could kind of just run wherever and pass a lot of cars. The strategy there not the strategy, just the caution kind of bit us there in that second stage. So, yeah, who knows what would have happened if it would have kind of worked out our way. But, yeah, great night and obviously a great car, and looking forward to going back home to Indy next week.
Briscoe also earned 45 points, with 11 of those being stage points. Here's more from Briscoe talking about how promising it is with 5 races to go before the chase and more. Also on TNT.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, especially tonight, starting 30th. I didn't think we would get any stage points, especially that first stage, and was able, I think, to get to 8th. And yeah, the second stage, even with that caution coming out, we had to do the wave around and starting way in the back, and to drive to 3rd that run, I thought we were really, really good. So yeah, definitely good, solid night. And like I said, hopefully go home to Indy next week and get one there.
Here's more from Briscoe, also talking about how he feels the Toyotas and Gibbs cars stack up against the Team Penske Fords, with more short tracks coming up and more, also on TNT.
Yeah, I mean, I did the Dale Jr. download earlier this week and talked about how Joey was going to be really, really difficult this week to beat. The Penske cars are just really, really good on the short tracks, and Joey's exceptional. So, yeah, there's a lot of short tracks coming up. We got to step up our game. We're good. We just need to be that little bit better to kind of be where we're at on the 1.5 mile. So, yeah, see what we got and hopefully capitalize, like I said, next week at the intermediate. And then see what we got on the rest of short tracks.
The other Gibbs driver that finished in the top 5 was Ty Gibbs, who finished 4th in his 54 car. Gibbs led a lot of laps early on, but later got a pit road speeding penalty. He was able to bounce back with a great finish. He led 47 laps in total in the race. Here's Gibbs talking about if he would have taken 4th after that penalty and more, also courtesy of TNT.
Yeah, I don't know. Más o menos. We had such a great car. I really appreciate my team and the car they gave me. Just so unfortunate. The lights just are such a pain in the ass here, and I just really want to go, honestly, in the Sirius XM54 car and rip the dash out of it and punch myself because I feel like, I don't know, it's just frustrating. Just got in the scrolly spot with the lights, and we'll just keep going. But I really appreciate my team. Thank you, Monster and JQ Sirius XM, for coming on. I love the blue colors; they're beautiful. And thank you to Toyota and everybody, and Saya and Helton and Rodney and everybody at Monster. It's a fun day.
Here's more from Gibbs talking about any head-to-head battle, and they think he could have had something for the 22 in the race and more. Also on TNT.
I would have loved to go on a race, and I had so much fun tonight. So I wish I could have got up there and raced with my teammates and those guys. So it's been fun. I think we put on a great show. Hopefully everybody enjoyed, but maybe if we were up there, everybody enjoyed a lot more.
Shane Van Gisbergen had a great night at North Wilkesboro as he finished 5th while leading 49 laps and was in the top 10 all night long. The 5th place finish tied his career best on an oval, where he first did at Nashville Super Speedway earlier this year. The 49 laps led by SVG was the second most led on the night to Logano. He moved up to 14th in the chase standings, which is 54 points above the cutoff. Van Gisbergen also had a great run in the Craftsman Truck Series race the day before on Saturday in Wilkes County as he came home 3rd in that race. Here's SVG talking about if it was the best oval race of the year for him and the 97 team and more. Also courtesy of TNT.
Yeah, it's got to be up there to genuinely lead. When I took the lead, I got pretty excited.
Yeah, you said I'm leading.
I don't know what to do, but thank you to Wendy's, Trackhouse, Chevy. Awesome day, and just amazing to get stage points both stages. And a bit pissed I threw it away at the last corner on that first stage, but just awesome racing up front all night.
Here's more from SPG talking about if it was the most difficult physical race he had to do and more. Also on TNT.
I mean, it's just hot, man. It's just soaked the whole time, and when you're behind people, you just start cooking as well. You feel the brakes, tires, everything just gets hot. So I was struggling. Like, I felt fine, but when I stopped, I went, oh shit, I'm pretty cooked. But it was fun.
SVG was also asked if the cramping got any better, as he was dealing with that at one point in the race, and more. Also on TNT.
Yeah, I swapped a right foot brake for half the race because my left leg was sore, and that was fine.
Bubba Wallace led the way for 2311 Racing as he came home 6th in his 23 Toyota. He led 8 laps. Here's Wallace talking about how he was feeling after a lot of drivers would complain about the heat, as it was a very hot night at North Wilkesboro, and more. Also courtesy of TNT.
The heat was okay, Danielle. I was actually fine in the car. It's just the adrenaline. As soon as you end, I could still run another 100 laps. But as soon as you stop and reset, that's when the adrenaline just leaves the building. So all in all, good night for our Coca-Cola team. No yellow line infractions. I get to keep my starting position, or finishing position. And yeah, it sets us up nice for the Brickyard next week, which we have a lot of confidence and momentum going into. So I'm excited for that. But just another clean race. I keep saying it. Clean races are we average finish around 6th to 8th, and there we are. So we're not happy with that, but we know that's good enough to lock ourselves into the chase and go compete for a championship. But all in all, a tick of improvement for our short track program. For us, we'll talk to the other 2 cars and figure out what they fought, but we still got a lot of work to go. All in all, good night here. On to Indy.
Here's more from Wallace talking about the pace as he was 6th. It was the last car on the lead lap, and more. Also on TNT.
Yeah, I basically came off pit road after being the leader. I'm like, leader's behind you. You're about to be a lap down. All right. So, I don't know. I mean, I hope it was a good race from the stands, the fans' viewpoint. For us, man, we're so fast in the center of the corner, and you can't pass doing that. And then you take out all the bumper structure, you can't hit anybody. So all in all, I'm just really pleased with how our night went. Controlled everything that we could control. Pit crew did a great job. Firing on all cylinders. Got some.
The rest of the top 10 was Brad Keselowski finishing 7th, Todd Gilliland 8th, Daniel Suarez 9th, and Ryan Preece 10th. These drivers finished 1 lap down. The in-season challenge made its return this year, with the first race being held at Sonoma Raceway. The challenge returned with 32 drivers on the bracket. This race on North Wilkesboro was the 4th round / semi-final of the in-season challenge, with Gilliland making an unexpected run to the finale, in which the winner will take $1 million. Gilliland advanced over Chase Elliott, who finished 17th. Gilliland also re-signed with Front Row Motorsports to return to the team in 2027 in a 34 Ford. Here's Gilliland talking about his top 10, him getting new shoes, and him going for $1 million in the next race, and more. Also courtesy of TNT.
Dang, man, everything's going my way, huh? It's yeah, I mean, it's been fun. Yeah, in-season tournament's been crazy. Yeah, 6 cars on the lead lap is wild too. These guys put it to us tonight, the top couple cars. So yeah, for our team, Rudo Bush Development Construction Ford was much better than we've had here in the past. So yeah, we kind of went on the island, tried something different, and yeah, luckily it worked out for us. So yeah, just shout out all our partners, Loves, Travel Stops, Gorilla's Pickles, on board next weekend to go after the $1 million. So excited about that. Bob Jenkins here, Freeze, new contract. So yeah, like I said, I'm a lucky guy right now. I'll be much happier next week if we come home with this $1 million though. So let's go do it.
Elliott wasn't able to advance further in the running order due to him being buried 2 laps down when a caution for contact between a Chevrolet of Alex Bowman and a Toyota Reddick as Bowman turned across traffic trying to enter pit road on lap 183, which interrupted a cycle of green flag pit stops. Elliott finished 3 laps down after a late pit stop. Bowman finished 26th. Reddick was 30th. Bowman will retire after the 2027 season is finished and will return to Hendrick Motorsports for his final year in the 48 Chevrolet. Brian Blaney finished 11th 2 laps down after a speeding penalty knocked out Christopher Bell from the in-season challenge. Just like Elliott, Bell was a victim of the lap 183 caution after pitting early in the cycle. He finished 19th and was 3 laps down. Blaney will face Gilliland for the in-season title in the next race at the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Here's Blaney talking about his night as he had a fast car, but later had trouble down pit road and was able to rebound to 11th place and more, also courtesy of TNT.
Yeah, sped on the last green flag stop, getting to pit road, which was dumb on the driver's part. Having a good day, fit 6 kind of range, and just made a mistake. And honestly, surprised we still ran 11th after we had to do a pass through. But yeah, proud of the effort. I thought we brought a fast car. I thought we managed the beginning of the race pretty good. With kind of starting in the back, where we got to in the middle of stage 2, I thought was really good progress. And I was kind of in that 4th to 6th range after that. That's kind of where I was running and where probably I was going to finish. But proud of the effort. Thanks Menards, Duracell, Advanced Auto Parts, Body Armor, Dex Imaging, Discount Tire for what they do. And congrats to the 22 team. That's a butt whooping they just put on everybody. I'm seeing 323 laps led. That's incredibly impressive. So I'm happy for those guys. They had a dominant car tonight. And we'll move on and go to Boston's place next week. I'm excited to get to Indy.
Blaney also talked about how does he feel about going to get a shot at $1 million against Gilliland at Indy and more, also on TNT.
Yeah, it'll be a heck of a battle for sure. It's nice we got a couple of blue ovals in there fighting for it. So that group does a really good job, and Todd's a really talented racer. So, and Indy can get pretty wild with some strategy stuff. So we're going to have to be on top of our game. But just try to run the best we can, try to compete for a win for Roger, and see if we can get one.
Other notable finishers included William Byron finishing 12th, Carson Holzemore 13th, Kyle Larson 15th, Chris Buescher 20th, Connor Zillich 32nd, and Josh Berry 36th, respectively. The race had 5 cautions for 43 laps, with the final stage running caution free for 175 green flag laps. There were 17 lead changes amongst 9 drivers, with the majority of those coming during green flag cycles. Gibbs won the first stage before he got a speeding penalty, and Logano showed his dominance and winning stage 2. Congratulations to Joey Logano winning the Window World 450 at North Wilkesboro. What an incredible win for him there, especially. He dominated there in Wilkes County as he led 323 of 450 laps there in his Ford Mustang. So definitely that's pretty cool for Logano there, especially. And it's much needed for him because of the fact that he's been struggling all year. And this is his first win of the year, which is pretty crazy because of the fact that a driver of his talent, especially in that equipment at Team Penske, it's hard to believe that he didn't win till this race, but definitely he needed this win, and definitely that's pretty cool because of the fact that he'll have confidence moving forward and all that. And definitely when Joey Logano has confidence, that's very dangerous for the rest of the competition. So definitely watch out for Logano moving forward there, especially so. But yeah, Logano does it again at a newish or inaugural race, especially. I saw a graphic on TNT when he's won these type of races before, which I'm paraphrasing, as he won the Bristol Dirt Race at Bristol Motor Speedway in 2021. He won the Clash also at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in 2022. That year, he also won the inaugural Cup race at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway near St. Louis. And now this race, so definitely that's pretty cool that Logano finds a way to win at new tracks, especially because of the fact that it's mostly an even playing field for the most part. In the case of North Wilkesboro, that's a different story. But still, because of the fact that it's a points race or a big-time new event, so definitely that's pretty cool that Logano's been able to accomplish this kind of stuff, so definitely shows that he's ready for these type of tracks, and it doesn't phase him, so definitely that's pretty cool. And yeah, I talked about that Bristol Dirt win in 2021, and that Clash win in 2022. I'll leave those videos down in the description. But yeah, it's pretty cool that Logano got to be the first driver to win a points race at North Wilkesboro since 1996 in the Cup Series. And that's a pretty cool bragging right that he has there, especially because of the fact that Jeff Gord's had the bragging right since 1996, getting to say that he was the most recent winner at North Wilkesboro in a Cup points race specifically. That's no longer the case with Logano's win, so Logano's now the defending winner as the race will return in 2027, according to the website there of North Wilkesboro, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's pretty crazy that it's been since 96 that the last time the Cup Series ran a points race in Wilkes County, especially. It isn't as significant this race, as great as it is, as the one in 2023, when NASCAR made its first return there in general, because of the fact that there haven't been any major NASCAR races at the track since 1996, so because of the fact that it was just such a big deal that weekend, especially with the Classic Truck Series race and the All-Star race. I did videos on those races as well. I'll leave those in the description. As well as when I talked about the announcement of it coming back to NASCAR, which I said was a great idea. And I did that in 2023. Obviously, I mentioned the All-Star race video for 2024, as well as the following 2 Classic Truck Series races at the track after their return there in 2023. And I did a video this year on the announcement of North Wilkesboro getting a points cup race back, which I said was exciting. So I've done all these videos on North Wilkesboro, which I highly recommend them all that I've talked about. I'll leave those in the description. But yeah, definitely that's pretty cool that the Cup Series has a points race there, especially because of the fact of how long it's been, like I said, especially. Definitely pretty cool, especially being run at night and all that. So definitely night race is more exciting. Now, obviously, when the Cup Series ran there back in 96, there were no lights, so. And that race was obviously 400 laps. So definitely it's pretty cool that this race is 450 laps. I like that because of the fact that it makes this race a bigger deal. And who knows, in the future, it could be a crown jewel race. Just like the Daytona 500, Coca-Cola 600, Brickyard 400, and Southern 500. So definitely that could be pretty cool because of the fact that 450 laps. Definitely that's a pretty unique thing there, especially so. And I like the fact that it was that because of the fact that it creates more action and it allows the fans to be able to watch more laps and all that and more racing. So definitely that's a pretty cool thing there, especially so. Definitely Logano has that bragging right to always be able to say that he was the first driver to win a race at the return of North Wilkesboro in a points race. So in the Cup Series specifically, but definitely that's pretty cool there, especially. But yeah, it's pretty cool also to see TNT back for another year, especially as it's their second year back in NASCAR, as they came back to NASCAR last year. So definitely that's pretty cool to be able to see those guys again this year. Obviously, it's not easy following up a highly successful coverage in Amazon Prime Video, but I feel like they've done a good job based on their standards and all that, especially because of the fact that any broadcast is pretty much better than what Fox has done. So definitely it's pretty cool to be able to see the guys there at TNT back. Obviously, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Steve Letarte, and Adam Alexander are still the booth from the Amazon Prime Video coverage, and Jr. and Letarte are in the pre-race and post-race there for NASCAR Nation as well with TNT. But there's a little bit of different coverage this year, especially with the people there at the track, with Marty Smith now being the host, and Jimmy Johnson appearing at some tracks during the course of the TNT run of the schedule, as well with Jeff Burton, as he's appeared at some races there as well. So definitely, I think it's a better team there than last year with Shannon Spake, Jamie McMurray, and Parker Kligerman. Even though McMurray's the only one of the three that returned to the NASCAR Nation team this year, but nothing against them. I like that group. Just not necessarily in the pre- and post-race coverage there at the track and all that. You know, I'm okay with McMurray returning to the team because of the fact that he's with a different group this year with Marty Smith, Jimmy, Letarte, Jr., and Burton there also. So definitely, it's better to see Parker in the booth or on pit road. And Shannon is back with TNT this year as a pit road reporter. And obviously, Danielle Trotta is back on pit road as well. You know, I feel like she's a better host than she is a pit reporter, as she's made some mistakes this year, as a pit reporter specifically. But I still like her, though, being a part of the broadcast. Marty Snyder's back on pit road as well. And Mamba Smith back with TNT as well as the Rutledge Wood of their coverage, interviewing drivers that are involved in the in-season challenge and all that, and showing off the track there as well. So that was pretty cool to be able to see TNT back there for another year. So that's a pretty cool thing there, especially so. And obviously they have one more race in their run this year at the Brickyard 400. So definitely their run is almost over, but definitely it's cool to be able to see them back at the track. So definitely that's a pretty cool thing, especially. But yeah, but speaking of the track and back to the race in Wilkes County, shout out to SBG, as he had a great run there, especially leading 49 laps and finishing 5th. Definitely had a very fast car there with Trackhouse Racing at the 97. So I feel like the run he's been having there, especially on the ovals, he had a great run there in Nashville earlier this year. If he continues to keep running like this and leading laps, he'll definitely get an oval win at some point. And watch out, if SBG runs great on the ovals, he could be a factor for a championship. Because of the fact that, like he said in an interview as well after a race, especially it's an oval series. So definitely, he has to learn the ovals if he wants to be great at NASCAR. So obviously, he's great on the road courses, as he's the best there. But definitely, shout out to SBG on the incredible outing he had there at North Wilkesboro, especially so. Definitely, that was pretty cool for him there, especially so. But yeah, congratulations again to Joey Logano on winning the Window World 450 and becoming the first driver since 1996 to win a Cup points race at North Wilkesboro, like I said and all that. So definitely, that's pretty cool for him there, especially. And definitely, that's pretty awesome that he's going to have this momentum moving forward there as well. So, and definitely, it was pretty cool to be able to see a Cup points race at North Wilkesboro as well, as it's pretty awesome that it's back. And I'm looking forward to seeing more points Cup races there in Wilkes County. So, and plus, it was sold out and all that. And it was an incredible show there as well. So, definitely, that's pretty cool there as well. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. And if you are brand new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.